afternoon all. This might be a long one. If you don't know that Keir Starmer works for Davos and the global elites, then you need to wake up. Everything we're seeing, every speech he's made, every action he's taken has been to promote the hate and violence in this country, including calling all of us far-right thugs. We're not far-right, we're middle of the road, we're just concerned about our country. I've been fact-checking all my facts on government websites, and this morning I had to retract the video because some of the facts I spouted from the government websites were proven, sort of, to be unfactual. Now I'm having commenters making comments that the source I checked the government fact sites on is also not to be trusted. How can we prove facts for facts anymore in this country when everywhere we go is full of misinformation, false news, fake stories? And then you've got to look at who's pulling the strings, who controls media, who controls the internet. The global elites. They want this confusion because it works in their favour. They want misinformation spread because it works in their favour. They want the violence in the streets because it works in their favour. For those of you who don't know, the globalist agenda is, point bluntly, one world order, one world government, no more independent nations. Their agenda directly states that they want to reduce the world's population from the 8 billion-ish that we are now to 500 million. How are they going to do that? Simple, the same way. Why are we funding a war in Ukraine that could have been stopped years ago? Why are we not allowing the Palestinians and Israelis peace? It could have been stopped. I know, but I'm not going to get into the area politics or the religious conflict between the two religions that worship the same fucking God. How do we know anything is true anymore? How can we protect our loved ones? I mean, the narrative in this country is the Muslims are taking over, and the narrative there is to incite hate and racial and religious hatred against the Muslims. Well, I know a lot of Muslims. They're not spouting hate. But the Muslims do react to hate directed at them. And they react tenfold, because it states so in the Quran. So, it's just stupidity. Our Prime Minister protecting the Muslims in this country, fair enough, but not offering the same protections to any other group in this country, inciting hate. Our Prime Minister refusing to do anything about the immigration crisis and the housing crisis, and sending billions of our money to fund overseas wars and aid for countries that are better off than we are, and then telling us we've got to pay more taxes because there's a big deficit. How to ruin a nation. And it's not just Starmer. Starmer's just doing this. It's a continuation of the last government, because that's exactly what they were doing. Robbing the country, breaking the country. That's all about the CBDCs. The less money we've got, the more likely we are to sign up for their CBDC digital currency, especially if they offer us a digital incentive of like 1,000 extra credits or something. But as we all know, the CBDCs are there to control us, control our spending, control what we can eat, where we can go, who we can talk to, all that nonsense. And of course, the more violence in the streets, the stricter they can get on the population. So the more the Muslims are fighting us, the more we're fighting them, the more we're fighting immigrants. Pretty soon, the army will be deployed, but not until it gets so bad and so many people have died that they'll be viewed as the saviours. But then will be martial law, and that's when you'll get the 15-minute cities. At which point we eat what they tell us to eat, which is dumbed down food, cancer-causing foods, brain rot foods, all made out of chemicals, or covered in chemicals, or infested with chemicals. And chemicals are not good for us. They're not natural, they're not good for us. It's that simple. They, of course, won't be eating all the shit that we'll be eating. They'll still be getting prime ribeye and all that sort of nonsense, keeping their brains nice and active. Depopulation. Well, that started. It's all about. It's not about money. It's not greed. This is not greed. This is not about money. They've got all the fucking money. They can print as much money as they fucking want. This is about control and dominance. In short, technology has reached a level where they don't need most of us anymore. Robots and computers can do most of the jobs that we do. Factory work, automated, most things. Now they've got AI. Now they're reducing population with diseases, war, conflict on our streets. It's only in tiny scale at the moment, but it's going to get worse. The chemicals in our foods are reducing fertility. Men are being feminized, the amount of estrogen in our water and other areas, reducing our testosterone levels. We've had a campaign against masculine manliness for decades from the feminists, who are funded by the woke, who are funded by Bill Gates, one of the elites, and a globalist. At the end of the day, people, I've seen memes that, like, we're just kneeled over and there's a game on top of our backs with the elites standing around playing that game, and it's quite simple. If we stand up, their game collapses. But they've divided us with all these social issues: race hate, gender hate, sexuality hate, fucking religious hate. We've been divided completely. They're throwing in these fucking idiot things like global warming, which I admit is real, but it's not been caused by us. It's natural. We're heating up after an ice age. We've been heating up for 10,000 fucking years. The carbon problem. No. Everything on this planet relies on carbon to live. All of the greenery, how do you think it fucking grows? Because it pulls up the carbon from the soil. As an ex-gardener, I can tell you that as a fact. That I don't need to fact check anywhere. All of it, everything you're seeing, is all the globalist elites doing. And they're winning. And so many of you got your heads in the fucking sand, or just refuse to believe what your eyes and your ears are showing you. Everybody needs to unite. All peoples of this once great nation, because we ain't great anymore. All of us need to stand. Every man, woman and child who call this place home need to unite as brothers and sisters against the uber-rich elites. Because there's no other way for us to survive. Because they will get their ends, they will reduce the population, they will create a second-class human race by dumbing down our brains. It's already started. That started decades ago when they tested all this stuff on the Americans. And while most Americans, or majority of Americans, aren't as dumb as you'd think by watching their social media and whatnot, quite a large section of the communities are, and they're usually in the cities. Look at that. People in the country eat real food. People in the cities eat fake food. Tells you all you need to know. So, please, nobody's going to watch this long, but please, if you did, share this post. The more people who wake up, the better. End of.